G'day, everybody, and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 6 points leading into round 22. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do that. Leave us a rating, leave us a review, and don't forget to get your local sports highlights into the BHP Streamer Screamer competition. First set of winners were announced last night on 7 News Perth by Josh Kennedy.
What was he wearing?
Mate, JK, it was a bit of like a corduroy jacket. You didn't like JK's kit?
Mate, the jacket and then like the crinkled shirt underneath.
Mate, he's a stylish man. He goes by his own playbook, JK.
Oh, he can do what he wants. I love
Those
him. 3
3 weekly winners netted a $100 Gym Kids sports voucher, and they're now in the running to win the major prize of $5,000 plus $1,000 for your club. Go to BHP. Go to streamer.com.au/screamer to get your entry in. Let's get stuck in. This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Chris Robinson.
The longest intro of all time.
We had people coming into the intro. It's only happened a few times, I reckon, over the journey.
I dived in.
Switch off. Yeah, dive in. Mate, feel free to.
Yeah, no, I felt like I needed to. I looked at JK last night because it was his first time back, was it?
Yeah, this is the first one.
No, so it stood out. And I was like, oh, JK with the jacket.
Mate, he's got his own style, JK. We love it.
Hey, 6 points today. I've gone a little bit rogue.
Okay, it's good.
And
As opposed to the
I've
rest
done
of
my own individual 6 points.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So I've gone through the last 6 players to retire. Not Isaac Smith. So Isaac
So
was
this is
this
10
morning.
points.
No,
both
well,
got
hang
2
on.
and then you got
So Isaac Smith retired, and I was going through his stats, and I texted him saying, Isaac, there's one column on your AFL stats page that is empty, like only one, and it's a hit out for Geelong. He had 80 hit outs at Hawthorn.
Oh,
Yeah,
when they're the
80.
third man
Yeah,
up.
and he hasn't had a single hit out. So every single column or whatever on tables is
table.
full, bar the hit out. And I text him saying, mate, yeah, congratulations, da-da-da. Just letting you know, you need to get a hit out to complete the
He's got-
the
Have a
set.
chat with Ray Stanley.
He said,
3 weeks.
I'm going to get a hit out before the end of the season. So I don't know how he's going to do that. But so then I just went through the 6 players that are retired: Cunnington, Franklin, Cochin, Shuey, Hearn, Andrew Phillips, probably scraped in.
Yeah, he's in the list.
But then just like a unique game that they played, or a really good game that they
So-
played, other than like Lance Franklin 13, not covering that, just one that was a bit different.
So this is like a hardball. There's that one of those AFL accounts on Instagram which is tracking the no bounce club.
right.
All the players who haven't had a bounce. So this is now like our no bounce club is the Isaac Smith hit out.
No hit out, yeah.
Yeah, we just needed to get that one hit out the next few weeks.
So I've
7
gone
and 9.
rogue, but anyway, there you go.
Oh, we like it. Okay, well, why don't we just go straight into that? Then? What's your actual? You want to roll it off the top, and then we'll just
do you want all 6?
go all 6.
All All right, well, let's start with Ben Cunnington, retired the same day as Luke Shuey. Mm-hmm. So I was trawling through his games, and I'm going to take you to round 8, 2018. Round 8, 2018. Ben Cunnington played 77% game time. So not a big 90, 95%er. He had 14 clearances, 7 tackles, 38 disposals, 32 contested disposals.
32 contested.
That is the record.
That's a lot.
Contested 32 contested disposals.
That is a lot.
Round 8, 2018. Ben Cunnington.
My God, that's a
So
day.
that was a little unique one I found there. Let's go across to Trent Cotchin. Trent Cotchin debuted in 2008. In his first game, he kicked 2 goals and had 16 disposals. It took to 2011, round 7, to kick 3 goals. So he kicked 2 in his first and couldn't get to 3 for 4 years or whatever
so
that
you
is.
add like to his total tally.
No, so he kicked ones in there every now and then, but not
never
many.
goes
But
to-
then
yeah, okay.
then he kicked 3, round 7, 2011. How's this for a game? 2014, round 15, v St Kilda. Trent Cotchin, I don't remember this game, had 31 disposals and kicked 5 hot dogs.
Really?
31 and
What
5.
year was that?
What year?
2014, round 15.
My God.
Wow.
Okay. You liking this?
I like it.
All right,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
good, mate.
This is
Bit
why
of
I'm
gold.
dizzy.
Research, yeah.
Lance Franklin debuted 2005. In his first game, he had 6 disposals, 0 goals.
No good.
Not a great day out for Lance. The game that really caught my attention was round 21, 2007. So still a young buck. He had 22 disposals. He kicked 2 goals and 11 behinds.
I have a vague recollection.
Were you
of that.
playing that day?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You're just getting the ball to him
I think he might have kicked
not ideal
I think he might have
spots?
kicked a couple out in the full as well.
Oh God!
Yeah,
You're in a good position. For
I think he
5
had
of those
something like
behinds.
I think he had like 15 shots at goal. Luke Shuey, he debuted with 18 disposals and 2 goals round 2010 v Brisbane. In game 14, in his 14th game, Luke Shuey had 27 disposals and kicked 5 goals 3 in game 14 of his career.
Okay.
That's a huge number.
Who won the? He was in the Rising Star. He was like
Cyril, I think
unlucky.
Cyril pinched. I think maybe Cyril.
No, because Reece Palmer pinched it over Cyril. So it would have been someone else. Let's find this out, Robbo.
Okay.
Can I jump in with a little-known Luke Shuey AFL record that still stands that no one's touched on this week? Luke Shuey holds the most goals kicked in a game at an AFL venue record.
Is
what
it 5?
venue?
It's 5. It wasn't that game. The venue is Blacktown. When West Coast played GWS in the very early days at GWS and they played one game at Blacktown, Shuey kicked 5.
And
He
he
holds
kicked
the
5
record
there.
for most goals in a game at Blacktown.
Wow,
There you go. And this is a big game by Shuey. Round 21 v the Giants. It might have snacked on the Giants' boots. 13 clearances, 2 goals, 38 touches.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good day.
not a bad day. Yeah.
You got 2 more to go. Shannon Hearn, he debuted with 14 disposals and 1 goal. That was the only goal he kicked for the year.
Debuted with the same haircut he left.
Yeah,
with.
don't worry about it. He debuted under 15 state with that same haircut too. It took him 83 games to get to 30 disposals. So obviously he wasn't a high
I think
disposal.
his first kick was like was a goal from 60.
That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Crazy.
His last goal. When do you reckon Shannon Hearn kicked his last goal?
Oh. I'm going to say 2 seasons ago.
Last year? No.
Round 1, 2018.
Really?
Wow.
He hasn't kicked a goal for 5 years, Bunger.
That's
That was his
surprising.
last goal. In the game that, in terms of goals, in 2011, round 13 v Port Adelaide, he had 25 and kicked 3.
Yeah, my
So I
God.
can't imagine any of them were for inside 50. And last but not least, Andrew Phillips had his 3rd most hit-outs last week. And he retired this week in the game. He had 33. Most hit-outs, round 6, 2018, he had 48 hit-outs to old Andrew Phillips.
I think I'm going to remember Andrew Phillips mainly for that attempted match-winning goal from 65. It went back so confidently.
There you go. Well, there's just a couple of little uniqueness from the 6 players that
Sort
have
of-
called time.
Follows on right from, I think it was last year and the year before too, but it is really like a generational switch we're seeing. All these guys retiring who you remember them being in the top rung of players.
Yeah.
And they're now just all on the way out. There's a new generation of players.
Yeah, well, it happened with like James Hurd, Michael Voss.
Yeah, all around the same
All those
time.
guys, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you follow us up, Robbo?
Okay. Well, I've got sort of in a bit of a similar vein, a couple of retiring guys here, but 6 names that I'll throw at you. Tell me who you think has the best sort of 2 or 3 careers out of these 6 guys. So who goes in on the podium here? Luke Shuey, Brad Sewell, Jude Bolton, Mitch Duncan, Isaac Smith, and Andrew Embley. And then bonus points if you can tell me what the thread is between these 6 guys. I'll go through them again.
Yeah.
Shuey, Sewell, Jude Bolton, Mitch Duncan, Isaac Smith, and Andrew Embley.
Well, all premiership players.
Correct? All
Norm,
very good careers.
Norm Smith.
Some Norm Smiths thrown in there.
So Brad Sewell was huge in a grand final.
Yep.
Mitch Duncan was a sub in a grand final.
Mitch Duncan was sub, but then he won.
Then he won another
Copper one.
Yeah.
Um,
Still get the medal.
Jude
Copper one.
Bolt. No, that used to be a sledge to the sub.
So, yeah.
What do you get, the medal or the ribbon?
Yeah. So before you figure that out, who's had the best career out of that? And
Sully
a lot
won-
of these are ex-teammates of yours, Zave, I know. So
Sully
that's-
won 2 best of fairest, I think. Match winning, I'm going Shuey.
Yep. In terms of ability, yeah.
Ability Shuey. Mitch Duncan, I love.
Isaac Smith's been a
Isaac Smith won 4 premierships.
X factor in 4
Well,
flags.
so Isaac Smith goes to the top with 4
I
flags.
think out of like weighting of career achievements, everything else, Isaac Smith has had the
4
best
flags
career.
and Norm Smith,
And
that'll do.
Norm. Yeah, that'll help.
How many Sewell 2?
0 hit-outs, though.
0
at
hit outs
Geelong.
at
For Geelong in 2.5 years.
What a bum.
But he's working on it. He's working
Sully
on it.
won 2 flags.
He won 2 flags. Did he only win 2? Oh, because he didn't get picked for one of them.
Oh, Isaac Smith's the one. Clearly, 4 flags.
But do you want us to rank them or just pick the top of the tree?
Oh, I just wanted you to who's the best. I mean,
Are they all played at no? How many? Bolton played 200,
Bolton
300
played
something,
like
360 or something.
320. I think Bolton's probably for mine.
What's the
for
three
mine? It's
here?
between Bolton, Shuey,
So
and
and we
Smith
have to pick the
in
thread.
kind of order. Yeah, I can tell it. I can
Yeah.
tell you what it is if you've given up.
Oh.
Yeah. I
They all played
surrender.
on the wing at some point.
No, that's just the vibe.
what do we
All
got?
6 have 0 somethings between them.
0 best and fairest.
Nope.
No, sure we got
Oh, Sully won one too. 0
Yeah,
Australian.
you just said silly one.
0 All Australians between
Zero
that
Australians.
collection of players.
Sean
There you go.
Burgoyne? Or maybe he won 1 All Australian, 0
I
best
think
and
he
fairest.
was. Peter Burgoyne never got one.
Yeah, I think
but
Sean was
did,
1.
That's crazy.
Not 0 best and fairest.
It's crazy when you think about, and with the greatest respect to some guys who have been All Australian for,
Yeah.
you know,
Go on,
Shane
name 'em,
Edwards
Robbo.
seasons.
Shane Edwards.
Hello.
Shane Edwards played 300 something games.
I know, but I don't think he was. No,
you're right.
He was an All Australian, a puzzling All Australian.
I'm probably
so-
thinking
pace.
more, and I hope he's not listening to the podcast. Matthew Egan, 2007.
He
kind
was
of
the-
era.
He was
that a
good,
very-
mate.
He was very good.
Mate,
Hang
it's all
on.
he's
But
got.
in
He
ter-
never
hang on,
played
hang on,
Poor
again.
hang on.
bastard broke
Hear
his
me
Give him
navicular.
something
Hear
to
me
hold on
out.
to.
Hear me out. In terms of accomplishments across a career,
Just because he only played 1 year.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Not 1 year. He played years
When you
before
look
that,
at
but
these guys and they have a single one between them, and then someone like a Matthew Egan, Will Minson, Jonathan Hay.
Jonathan Hay.
Jonathan Hay was on there.
Jonathan Hay.
Jonathan Hay
All-Australian 01.
was he traded for
Yeah,
Jordan
Hawthorn
Lewis's pick?
to North Melbourne.
Yeah, North Melbourne. Was that the Jordan Lewis pick? I think it might have been.
Might have worked out okay for the Hawks.
Yeah.
They made some good picks from trades in that period.
They certainly won around that time. I
Yes.
reckon they're winning now too, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good little thread there.
Anyway,
I like it.
interesting
Who
little
did
wrinkle.
you put on top if you had to pick one?
I think the top 3 for me.
You've got him for one game.
You've got them for one
Oh,
game
you just need to pick them
Yeah,
for one
there you
game?
go. We'll change one game.
at their absolute best.
Yep.
Shuey.
I think Shuey,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Friend of the podcast. Well, I'll lead into that on the Hawthorn point. So, question here is, how do the Hawks actually look in 2 years? Like, how quick is the jump going to be? So, first I'll rattle off a few clubs, teams, and tell me if you think in 2 years they'll be better than them.
Yep.
And then I'll rattle off some players and tell me what their
Before you
ceiling
start
is.
doing this, like, people are so far out on West Coast, they are by far the worst. But they're just as close to winning a flag as teams like St Kilda, for example. I think.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you go, you're so far off them now, but you're no closer to winning a
in
flag.
actual timeline.
Yeah.
So, St Kilda. Hawks going to be better than St Kilda in 2 years.
Yes.
Richmond.
Yes.
Probably.
Carlton.
Oh,
Nah,
God
Carlton.
knows
Yeah,
for
people will
Carlton.
say what
Carlton
Carlton.
could do
People will say I'm a hater.
anything.
Geelong.
Is it Hawthorn?
What about Dockers?
Toss the coin.
Adelaide?
Nah, I think Adelaide
Well,
probably
I
ahead of
threw
them.
that
Yeah.
one in as well. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to be better than
I
Adelaide.
don't know what Dawson.
No one's going to be better than Adelaide for the next.
But there'll be no text.
This podcast is big on Adelaide.
There'll be no text.
Yeah, but they'll trade in one of our other
Thriller.
favourites to fill that spot.
Darcy.
There's 50 odd goals gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Thriller will.
I'll go 2 years Hawthorn. They should have beaten them this year.
Yeah, Hawthorn will be better than
Should have
Adelaide in
beaten
2
them this
years.
Should have.
Well, Adelaide probably have 2 flags by that point, so
Oh,
they'll be fine. And then, okay, so let's go through now some of the players.
and I am
what you think
extremely
their ceiling
biased,
is.
obviously.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be it's going to be a faster rise than expected.
So the result of that is, in 2 years' time, it's more likely or unlikely that Hawthorn makes the 8.
Yeah, I think
Not
they-
next
they
year, but the
finish-
year after
they
that.
finish 8th, 9th.
Somewhere
Year
in that
after
range.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I
I
think
can see that.
I think you can
Hawthorn,
make a case for that, yeah.
their records shows that they need to be good enough to not only get to the draft, so they'll get pick 4 or whatever
Yep.
this year, but then they start to attract those free agents again.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, in 2 years there'll be someone who will
Yeah.
go to Hawthorn. I don't know who it is.
All of a sudden, Harley Reid wants to go home.
All right, and I'm going to name some players and tell me what you think their ceiling is. Like
Right.
compare them to another player, maybe.
Okay.
Or just give us an indication.
Okay.
So Mitch Lewis. This is the one where I'm not all in on Mitch Lewis, but I
How
know
about his
some people
record?
are. It's good. I know. But I'm just not. I don't know. Something about it
Mitch
pass
Lewis
the
is
vibe
in-
check for me.
He's in this. Huh?
doesn't quite pass the vibe check. For me.
Can't.
I thought you said my check. I was like,
No,
what?
no, he's
Doesn't go past my
Doesn't
check
go
for me.
past my check.
Can't match my check's
Jesus.
career.
I thought, mate, I'll go punch you. I was going to turn the cameras off and just bash you.
Again.
No, he's a 60 goal a year player.
Yeah.
That's
What's your concern with Mitch Lewis?
No, I don't. There's no
Why do you hate Mitch
glaring
Lewis?
concern for me. I just don't really see it. Like I think.
What don't you see?
Well, I'm telling you, it's a vibe check. When you say vibe check, you don't have to explain
is this the
particulars because that's what you say. It's a vibe.
It's Marbo. Is this because you can't trust a guy with 2 first names?
That's right.
Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a big part of it.
So like this year he's kicked.
Yeah, I understand. I know he's
kicked
got a good
35
record.
from 14
and I see
games.
him play and I'm like, he's going well.
37 from 15. In the last 29 games, he's kicked 72 goals.
Yeah. Yes. I said all of this I accept.
I don't know what
questionable supply / delivery.
I told you when you say vibe check,
I don't know what else to
logic or
say
explanations. You just
other
go
than
with
you're a dick.
it. Yeah, that's a vibe check.
That was a vibe check on that. Yeah, keep going.
Will Day.
I think Will Day can be, and I know I've said it about Hayden Young, I think he can be Jordan Dawson level.
Yep. Josh Weddle.
I really like the young man.
He's got a bit
of headless chook about him. Maybe like a Nick Blakey type.
He's got a headless chook. Half back. John Newcombe. Oh, John Newcombe's probably is what he is, but he
is what he is.
Every team has a place for that.
Yeah, I think that's
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, blue collar guy.
Taylor Adams.
Yeah. You just need one of them in the middle.
Yeah.
Josh Ward.
Josh Ward's a difficult one.
Yeah, I thought the same.
He's playing some good footy now.
There's going to be. It's not like another club where you're the one top 10 pick and you have a lot of cracks. Like he also has to fight for.
No, he'll play forever now. He's not going out of the team.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He's not necessarily. Some of them come in and be like, "You're going to be the man in 3 years."
Josh Ward, could he be a Nick Dacos?
He's a puzzling one. I don't know. He could be an All-Australian level player.
He's playing on a wing at the moment. Is he a wingman or is he an inside mid?
He's an inside mid.
He's playing on the wing. So
it's
time will tell.
Indication. And Cam McKenzie. I like Cam McKenzie. I think he's got a bit of
He's
silk.
shown something, yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Ward certainly showed more than I thought this last 10 games or 7 games or whatever.
Yeah.
When he went back to the twos.
It's hard to tell what he is. He
went back to the twos and he had high mid-30s, I think it was, in the twos. And then he came in and he hasn't looked like coming out. I like him. McKenzie, you haven't seen enough, but I think he's got plenty of talent.
The silk thing is that, and his disposal is
plenty of talent
at a really high level. And then they
were big on. They were McKenzie or Jinby, from what I think.
Yeah,
from what I gather.
Yeah, they got a couple of Jinby sides.
They
already.
separated McKenzie v Jinby on a couple of factors.
Rhino, so we were high on Hawthorn.
Yeah, mate, smoke it in. I'll fire away then.
Your 6 points.
I'll throw another one in there. The Matildas playing and the AFL moving the game back.
Awesome.
Should Optus Stadium have it on the big screen, not outside the stadium, but actually inside the stadium?
I think so.
You get 60,000 there. Or how many thousand did we get into the Derby on Saturday night?
Low 50s.
So if it was on the big screen and everything before the game, do you feel as though there'd be 30,000 in there really watching it?
No,
6 million watched it the other day.
It's probably more a logistic thing, I'm guessing, because it starts 3 and a bit hours before bounce down. So in terms of like, can they open the gates? Do they have enough staff? Do they have food places open?
Right.
That would be my guess as to why it's not
that's why it's
inside.
Going to be outside, so then you can fold in.
Yeah.
It could be on the big screen when you get inside as well. I think that's happened before, hasn't it? But
they
just can't advertise it because they can't start.
So they're doing that. So at the SCG, they're showing the Matildas game after the Sydney Gold Coast game, which is great. So you can stick around and watch the Matildas.
Oh, that's cool.
And then at the MCG for the Melbourne Carlton game on Saturday night, they're showing it in the lead up. My question
that game's been postponed.
It's been nudged back sort of 5 or 10 minutes.
That's pretty cool.
But my question is, it's all fine because the Matildas game starts 2.5 hours before the Melbourne Carlton game starts. So it's all fine if it ends in regular time.
Oh, what if it's
if it goes to extra time and penalties? Do they cut off the big screen halfway through? Do they just keep it on when the bounce down's on and you can watch both at the same time?
It's like Foxtel when you're watching the NBA and they budget for 2.5 hours and it goes overtime it cuts off and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. Like, imagine if it's going to penalties and they're like, oh, no, we're bouncing down here, guys. Sorry, that's going off the big screen.
Remember the old days of like Foxtel IQ where you could plug in a record?
Yeah.
And you go back and
it'd run long. Miss the last minute and a half.
It's not, is it half an hour extra time plus penalties?
Half an hour and then penalties.
They're not going to push it back 40 minutes, are they, the footy?
No.
Do they leave it on the big screen?
I think it's a legitimate thing that might happen. It's like, we're about to bounce the ball in 5 minutes, but this match still hasn't finished. And if we take it off the screen, fans aren't going to be too happy because they're kind of invested in what happens here. I don't know. It's going to be a big watch for Saturday.
It feels like it gets to the day, and then like the AFL and the MCG exec will be like, someone says, "Oh, what if it goes to penalties?"
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Huh?
Would they
Someone
nudge
make a
back,
phone call.
Yeah.
Would they nudge back bounce down and just go, "Hey guys," because you know how the NBA is quite fluid on this. Like if a West Coast game, an East Coast game goes to overtime, they kind of we'll just nudge us back a little bit.
If it's a Channel 7 game, I think they could come to some kind of arrangement.
I think it is.
Because a broadcast wouldn't be fast.
In fairness to the players, what are you doing? Just sitting around for another hour?
Yeah, they just go, they line
do a
up,
bit more
666, just watch the game.
Yeah.
We'll
Stay in position and
we'll
watch
bounce
the
the
game.
ball directly after as soon as the whistle's blown, we bounce. So just stay here. Everybody stay here.
You're right. There's going to run into
It's going to be an interesting watch, yeah.
I think the French win 3-1. So
okay. Well,
can I say I really hope it goes to penalties now?
Oh, absolutely, mate.
It's going to be intriguing.
And I want the penalty shootout to go to 50 shots each.
Yeah,
I want them still be there peppering the goals at midnight.
And everyone's still in the square.
Yeah.
And Clayton Oliver, who's playing on Saturday night?
Melbourne Carlton.
Yeah, so Clayton Oliver's had hamstring problems, is standing around like a spare bottle of piss for
He's on the
for 4
stationary
hours.
bike, just trying to stay warm.
He's ridden 110 Ks before bounce down.
All right, so I've shamelessly stolen this off a post from Twitter a few days ago,
Don't
which was
admit that, just steal it.
Oh no, it just is. It's one of those ones where it's like, what's your fringe AFL take that draws this response, and it's kind of like a guy sort of standing defiantly, and people have got swords at his throat or whatever. So basically, what's your controversial
it's Eugene from the movie Tangled?
Yeah, well,
I haven't
seen the movie Tangled
8 times a week.
Oh, okay.
I'm Rapunzel, you're Eugene.
Why do they all put swords at his neck?
Because he's a wanted man. The bad guys don't like him because he screwed over some other bad guys.
Well, you could have given me a spoiler.
The bad guy's in the pub.
I haven't seen it. Anyway, so this is like controversial AFL takes. I thought I'd run through a few of them more.
He's a good man underneath it all.
Eugene?
Okay.
Yeah, he turns around by the end of the movie.
Is his name Eugene?
His name's Flynn Ryder, but then to find out my name's actually Eugene.
So Reddo, Jack Redden, when he gets on the gas,
he's Eugene.
Eugene comes out.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Just his second.
Darren Lockyer had a second personality.
Yeah, Reddo does.
Yeah.
He stole a Buddha once. That was a bit interesting. That resolving that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He had to go home from the BNF after the flag, right? Because he hadn't stopped.
No. He was
unwell,
sick.
Yeah.
He finished second in the BNF, so that grand final year. No, but he was sick. He was sick,
unwell,
and he was standing by that he was crook.
It's an unfortunate timing for that illness. So I'll go through a few of them. You guys tell me whether you think they're good ideas or not.
Right.
These are not my opinions. These are just suggestions that people put out there. All games in the final home and away round should be played at the exact same time, all 9 of them.
No, I don't like
Wrong.
it.
Good, bad.
I like that.
Bad.
There's that one year. Everyone just thinks about that one year when Man City
Yeah.
United.
Aguero. Yeah, no.
It's a bad idea. I want to watch more football.
Yeah, well, why start in round 24 for you?
I want the option. Maybe if it's all games are at the same time, I'm a better chance. So pictures.
Just set aside 3 hours. All right, what about this one? This is a bit left field. So for home and away games, visiting clubs' songs, visiting clubs' anthems shouldn't be played as they're running out onto the ground. And if they win, it also shouldn't be played. In terms of like a hostile kind of home ground environment.
Brisbane on the weekend were late to come out, no banner. I've never seen a no banner. They just couldn't be bothered with the banner. So a no banner and just ran out. And it was like, oh, the team's out in the field all of a sudden. I don't mind it.
What do you think?
Because
compared to world sport, we are very friendly and accommodating.
We don't owe them anything.
For visiting teams going, hey, here's your little song.
No, I'm not pulling a sword on that. I don't mind that.
Big round of booze.
Yeah.
It's like in the NBA when they're like, standing in at 6'6", Luka Doncic. And then it goes,
like, and here's the Clippers.
And 6'2" from Davidson, Steph Curry. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. That was quite good. What else have we got? The countdown clock should be on full display at the ground.
Countdown?
Yeah.
Nah, I like count up.
Yeah.
Give us count up.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm disagreeing. Put it on.
Why do you want to know?
Because everyone else can see it.
But don't you
if you're watching on TV, you know exactly to the second how long is remaining.
Yeah, but I want it off TV too. I just want count up on everything.
Are you one of those guys that covers the clock on the count on the
No, I don't.
TV?
I don't. But I used to like
bits of paper everywhere to cover.
Yeah,
TV.
Someone thought it was not a tampon, a pad. Yeah. Someone thought I had pads stuck all over my computer. It was just masking tape covering some scores and stuff. I used to love the 5-minute warning.
Did you?
And they used to scan to the security walking around the fans. I used to love it.
You think about how much more tense it was Leo Barry taking that mark because you didn't
You
know.
had no idea.
Yeah, it was all just tense.
Do you know what my admission is? In big games
see it.
with the 5-minute countdown, I used to get my phone out and start my
wow.
stop
Stop
timer to have an idea of how long was left.
This is the
That's
story. This
full
is the
enough
journey
areas.
when you should have gone down a different path in journalism into timing of sporting events.
Yeah.
And after your 500th game, you can say, like, when I was younger, the Leo Barry mark, I knew it was on
No,
the side, so I was counting
in
it
the
out.
in the
Right
2006 GF, where we were all watching it with the boys, and I was doing it, and everyone's like, "How long left, Robbo? How long left?"
See, this is
How
you're
long-
also
how-
I was within 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah,
you're
nice.
also
Yeah, I
robbing
was
that
pretty
one
proud
guy
of
in
it.
the crowd listening to the I can't remember which radio station has
That actually tell you?
and like and it's like how long left? 30 seconds.
Yeah, I feel bad saying in the call how long there is to go.
Well, because the people don't know.
Just ruining the drama.
Well, if you're listening...
You got the countdown in the at Triple M booth?
we've got the TVs on, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
could just rip it off the TV.
But now we've even got guys on the interchange with the signs like 1 minute, 30 seconds. The
Yeah.
signs are screaming out. It's very strange that some people have a rough idea, but not the exact idea. Anyway,
I feel like the rush of emotion on the siren when you don't know when it's coming is greater.
that
Well,
is
what was
nice.
the game on the
That is nice.
weekend? There was the Brisbane Freo game.
Yeah.
Freo got the ball late and kicked it. It was at three-quarter time. They were heading forward.
No, they were
quickly.
kind of
No, it was
nudging
like, and then it
forward, yeah.
bounced
Nudging
back.
forward.
And
So they had the
it would-
ball, but I knew you're like, they got 3 seconds left.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You didn't know that.
And the last one I'll toss out there, the team that finishes top at the end of the home and away season should be able to pick whether they play either the third or fourth ranked team in the first week of the final. So not necessarily 1v4. If they want 3, they can have 3.
Leave me out of that.
Don't like it?
No.
Changes the narrative for the we play anyone anytime.
Yeah,
Not
leave.
them. I reckon you give an advantage to the one you don't pick if they meet you later.
But wouldn't
They
that
didn't
add,
think
wouldn't
we're
that
any
add an
good.
interesting wrinkle though? Where it's just
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
this team that finished fourth. No, actually, we want to play this team that finished third because we reckon.
Well,
they're not as
it'd
good.
work with interstate clubs.
Yeah,
give us West
yeah,
Coast
plus-
on the
Yeah,
road.
we don't want to travel.
Yeah.
We'll go to Adelaide instead of.
But as far as like maximising the advantage for the team that finishes top, because at the moment the team that finishes top doesn't have a huge advantage over the team that finishes second, right?
Well, so imagine if the ladder went Collingwood, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Carlton. And you'd go, if you're first, you'd go, no, give us the Lions on the
Give
G.
us Brisbane at the G because they haven't won there in 85
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd work.
Don't mind that.
And I was just going to run through the top 4. So it seems like at the moment the premiership's going to come from those top 4. They're the favourites, and it's clearly
Who's,
obviously
I'm circling around
Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, but Dogs, you would be equally not surprised if they were in the grand final or if they flamed out.
Well, like
Neither
they did
would
last
surprise
year
me.
when they were 42 points up against
yeah,
Freo
against
or
the
whatever, and
Dockers.
they didn't win. You're like, oh, what happened there?
It also depends on where Bevo wants to play guys
Yeah,
in any
just week to
given week.
We're not playing Jamara this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stick him
and
in the midfield.
Font, we're a bit short down back. You know,
Was it this
yeah.
podcast, though, I said, I reckon the 2 most important?
Yeah, yeah,
Jamara
Jamara.
and Jones.
Yeah.
Everything else is schmicko. I like them.
For now until Bevo gets in and moves everyone
Yes.
again.
Matty Spang was straight.
Loves a shuffle.
Oh, yes, right. Matty Spanger's there.
Rowan
isn't he?
Jones got told he's not going to be offered a contract with the Doggies next year. You know, now they do the
Rowan-
like August.
Rowan Smith?
Ron Smith,
Rowan
sorry.
Smith. That's right. Rowan Jones
Sorry,
making
Rowan
a comeback.
Smith.
Yeah, I
you,
saw that,
You
yeah.
know, they in August you have to be told whether you're going to be renewed or not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so now all the coaches are getting the arse, and it's going into finals. It's like,
thought-
oh, it's awkward.
For a second there, I thought they just needed someone to release Bont around the stoppage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowan
Rowan
Jones,
Jones.
we don't care how old you are,
Best
mate.
in the
Just stand there,
business.
get
No,
in the way.
One of the
but then
greats.
they're like, Rowan Smith had done 11 years or 13
been
years
there
on
a
the
while,
book. So
yeah.
you're like, it's a good
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah, I mean, they chop and change. So I just wanted to run through and tell me, like, what's your alert level for these major issues for each of these top
Right.
4? So the Collingwood is obviously the Dacos factor. Is it like,
Not
let's
high.
go green, amber, red?
What's
Red's,
green?
red's like alert. Green,
Green.
all good.
Green.
Green, all good?
Yeah, they're fine.
I don't think you'll miss as much football as you think. You'll miss the next 3, have a bye, maybe miss the first final.
No, they don't
That's
really
what I
skip
think.
a beat. Melbourne, the Brody Grundy, he's coming back in.
Red.
So
Red.
is he definitely playing this week?
I think, well,
As what?
they don't have a forward. They don't
So-
have a lot
so
of forwards.
Petty's gone out.
I think they're going to try that thing again.
Is McDonald still injured?
I don't be particulars.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Hang on, let me.
No follow-up questions.
I'm
No
going
follow-up.
straight to the VFL now. Hang on.
I'll do the old coach trick.
I'm not as-
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
What's your assessment?
I'm not as clued in on Tom McDonald's.
So the last game
fitness
Melbourne
battles,
played, they
I
had the bye last week, and then they lost by a point to Williamstown. Kicking goals, Dunstan's still around, had 35 and kicked one.
They brought him in,
Ben Brown.
They brought him in
Luke
case Clayton Oliver went
one of
down,
the-
and then he just...
and then Clayton Oliver's missed half a season. It's
Don't
like,
worry
nah.
about it.
So if you're looking for someone to kick the door down to come into the side, Dunstan 1, Brown 1, Jefferson 1, Laurie 1, Munro 1, Spargo 1, White 1. There's not much there.
No.
Speaking of White, Jeff
Shaki had
White's
16.
kid was like one of the best on in the under-16 nationals. I think.
Yeah, it's always
As a
Hodges.
ruckman as well?
I think he's a big kid already. He's 200
Yeah,
centimetres
no, he's a
already.
big fella.
Hodges is an under-15s.
He put up highlights, Jeff White, of his boy, I think. I saw
That was
there.
we were in the same stuff. I saw Brett Roseberry interviewed, and I think they asked him like when he was getting old, and he said, "Oh, when I started to umpire the kids of people,
Yeah.
I'd already umpired, like I figured
It's
I'd been
500
around a
games,
while."
didn't he?
Mate, it's good
Yeah.
effort.
All right, keep going.
Okay, so that's a red. Brisbane, the mids, the help for Lockie and like the Lockie tag thing.
Amber.
Yeah, I was thinking about
It's all- it's just-
And no Ashcroft as well.
well, yeah, that's
who
a
gave you something in there
no one
too.
tells him, and there's not a lot of
It's on the shoulders
Spark.
of Zach Bailey,
Cam
Rayner,
Rayner.
McCarthy.
Which I'll actually be interested to see. They had a bit of time in there at the start of the year, but it's not as obvious.
They look so slow on the weekend. And I feel like they need that spark.
All right. Amber and Port Adelaide. This is just a few things, but like the middle tier, the reliability of the mid-tier players, I suppose, and the backs.
Oh, I'm worried about them.
Yeah, that's not
red.
trending in a good way.
Nah.
Jake Colvin, who bought
Shout out to our friend
his
Jake
grand
Colvin.
final tickets one night
Yeah,
in
pissed.
the middle of the streak.
Yeah.
So now, if anybody would like a grand final
But
ticket,
in fairness to him, he bought them after like 7 wins.
yeah,
And then they won another 7. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a no-brainer. And now they're not going that well.
yeah, no, they're not going great. And now it's time for
Hardball bets. Thanks to the Tab Touch app.
another win last week.
Did you win?
Yeah, Aaron Norton kicked 3 goals,
Oh,
mate.
my
And I didn't
God.
know until my our tomato man told us the next day. He followed me in. That was a very bad decision.
That's
but
not
I'm
wise
glad
of
it-
him to do
glad
that.
it paid off for
Did you have tomatoes?
Sorry.
Did you get some or they sold out?
They might have had a little.
Did
might
you
have got a
take
little stash?
Did you take the stash?
They gave me a little stash.
You are an ass.
What?
That's their stash.
Yeah, I didn't know, mate. He just said I've got.
Yeah, when they say we've got a little stash, like they're trying to be nice, but you say, "Oh, thank you for the offer," but no,
Okay, well, sorry. I won't take the stash next time. But he gave me a little stash, mate.
don't take the stash.
There was. I think there hasn't been.
Don't
a
you
huge-
have any
huge harvest,
tomato
eh?
etiquette?
Don't take the stash.
Never
All right,
any
next time I
tomato
won't
etiquette.
take the stash. I didn't
just
know
say-
there was rules around the stash. I was just told.
It's their own, mate.
There you go.
No, you stand there like making him all nervous. Like surely he's going to say no, and you stand there like, yeah. I'll have some of the stash. Don't touch the stash.
I don't think it was actually even asked. I think I was just handed a stash.
Yeah.
All right, what are you
Now I
betting
know
on?
the stash etiquette. I'll back off the stash. Don't worry.
What are you betting on?
Well, no, you go first because
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to track down the script.
I'm taking a full swing. I'm putting it all on the Glendinning Allen medal.
Oh, I was doing the same.
Trying to find a bit of value. Hayden Young's at $13. Bit of a
Okay.
shutdown roll / lots of his own ball in the middle / kind of flavour of the
Yeah.
month with the roll change. $13. Put it all on that.
That'll do.
Gamble responsibly. It's
Yeah.
definitely losing, but that's my bet for this week.
I was listening to a racing channel over the last week,
Mm.
and Paddy Payne, a trainer, got on and said, "I ignore those ads, or ignore those gambling responsible ads, and just have a crack." And it won.
Yeah.
It won. Run for Lex was the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have had a couple of phone calls from someone after
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
dead set. They got him on the next week. He's like, "Nah, I don't have another one of them up my sleeve."
There's this thing going on at the moment, isn't there? Because it was in the AFR. Because Sydney have got that anti.
Oh, the Tom Papley thing, yeah.
Tom
Tom
Papley.
Papley.
Tom
Yeah.
Papley's. Some of the language he uses in his podcast is
Wind
it's
up
not
and whack it
anti-
out of the park.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. What do you say if your ass isn't puckering when the, when
that
the
what he
horses
said?
are bolting? You haven't got enough on. That kind of thing.
Oh,
Which is certainly not what we endorse over here.
Oh, my God.
So I'm going the Glendinning Allen medal with Caleb Sarong at $4. I'm just riding out the
$4?
season.
Jeez,
$4.
you are
that's
just
short.
you're just shutting
No,
it
mate,
down, aren't you?
I'm just riding out the season trying to get.
You're just-
I'm
there's-
in the black, mate.
There's 10 minutes left and you're just chipping it around the
I'm
back
in the
line,
black. I
just
just got to get in
icing
the
the
black.
clock.
Just get pars,
Unbelievable.
mate. You just need a par. That's
Unbelievable.
been a hardball bets brought to you by Tab Touch. Got the touch this AFL season. Choose Tab Touch. Better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly. Call Gamblers Help on 1-800-858-858. And this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do you. See you next time.